Hey everyone, my name is Josh and welcome back to your fourth stimulus package and news update. We have a lot of news to get into in today's video, but first, if you would like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $2,300, make sure to claim them by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. Okay, so as the new variant of COVID begins spreading, President Biden has finally spoken. No further restrictions are needed at this time, other than blocking travel from South Africa and 7 others, but he does urge Americans to get vaccinated.
We do not yet believe that additional measures will be needed, but so that we are prepared if needed, my team is already working with officials at Pfizer and Moderna and Johnson & Johnson to develop contingency plans for vaccines or boosters if needed. And I will also direct the FDA and the CDC to use the fastest process available without cutting any corners for safety to get such vaccines approved and on the market if needed. And we'll do that the same way any modifications are needed or current treatments need used to help those who get ill with the COVID virus. Look, I'm sparing no effort and removing all roadblocks to keep the American people safe. All of this is confusing to a lot of people, but if it's confusing to you, let me close with this simple message. If you are vaccinated, but still worried about the new variant, get your booster. If you aren't vaccinated, get that shot. Go get that first shot. My team at the White House will provide me with daily updates this week. And on Thursday, I'll be putting forward a detailed strategy outlining how we're going to fight COVID this winter. Not with shutdowns or lockdowns, but with more widespread vaccinations, boosters, testing, and more. I promised every American that there will always be the latest vaccines available and the booster shots available to them and for free and everywhere available. Every single American, free of charge, and I will keep that commitment.
Biden says if you're concerned about the new strand, to get the booster, and if you're not yet vaccinated, to go ahead and get the vaccine. So not a lot of concern yet shown on the part of the president. This past weekend, he spent some time in Nantucket, where he was first confronted about his decision to restrict travel from 8 African nations.
Mr. President! What's your message to Americans on the new variant? Are you concerned about the new variant?
I've already gotten my release.
Yes.
I've decided that we're going to be cautious, make sure there's no travel to and from South Africa and 6 other countries in that region.
So far, Japan and Israel have banned all foreign travelers, and Australia has delayed its reopening for 2 more weeks. As of right now, other than the 8 countries, the United States is keeping their borders open. In some other news, with members of the House and Senate finally back in Washington, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer laid out his plans over the next few weeks.
Now on NDAA, the Defense Act. Madam President, we begin an important week for what will be an important final month of 2021. Later today, the Senate will vote on cloture on the substitute amendment to the NDAA. NDAA has been passed by this chamber for over 60 years, and there's no good reason why this year should be any different. Before Thanksgiving, the Senate worked in as bipartisan way as it could to lay the groundwork for advancing the defense bill. Senate Armed Services Committee Chairman Reid and Ranking Member Inhofe reached an agreement, a bipartisan agreement, on a package of 18 amendments. Let me repeat that, 18 amendment votes for the Senate to hold roll call votes on. Nearly half of those amendments were led by a Republican. That would be more amendments to the NDAA receiving roll call votes than in the last 4 years combined. We also agreed to the substitute amendment, which included at least 50 amendments, 27 of which were led by a Republican. Senator Inhofe, the ranking member of the Armed Services Committee, agreed to this. In any other time, this would be considered a very fair and generous compromise, even though every member didn't get every amendment they wanted. The leadership on both sides would have made sure that cloture was granted. Unfortunately, Republicans could not accept this agreement before Thanksgiving, but we hope that Republican dysfunction will not be a roadblock to passing this bill and taking care of our troops and their families.
Yesterday, Senate Republicans blocked the defense policy bill laid out by Democrats due to the fact that Republicans wanted to vote on amendments to the bill.
Now on government funding. As we all know, by the end of this week, both parties must come to an agreement for funding the government and avoiding a needless shutdown. At the end of September, Democrats and Republicans worked together to keep the government open through December 3rd, avoiding many of the fights that tainted so many funding debates under the previous administration. After the House takes action this week, the Democratic-led Senate will move forward to make sure the government remains funded after the deadline. With so many critical issues, the last thing the American people need right now is a government shutdown. And Democrats are going to work this week to make sure we don't have one this time around. It's important to get it done, and we are working to get it done.
Schumer also says that funding the government is another crucial step Democrats will need to take this week. And with government funding running out on December 3rd, they'll need to achieve that goal by the end of this week.
And finally, Madam President, on Build Back Better. Before the end of the year, the Senate will also act on President Biden's Build Back Better legislation, which momentously passed the House at the very end of the last work period. This week, Democrats will continue to meet with the Senate parliamentarian in order to complete the technical and procedural work required before a bill comes to the floor. Meetings were held over the Thanksgiving week, and we will continue this week and next week as needed. As I've said repeatedly, once this necessary work is completed with the parliamentarian, I will bring the President's Build Back Better legislation to the floor so we can pass it as soon as possible and send it to the President's desk. Our goal continues to be to get this done before Christmas. Build Back Better represents the largest investment in the American people in generations. Under our bill, child care will be more affordable, pre-K will be more affordable, and raising kids overall will be more affordable for tens of millions of parents. The bill will take unprecedented steps in the fight against the climate crisis, paving the way for even greater action in the future. And as scores of economists from across the ideological spectrum attest to, Build Back Better will not worsen inflation, and in the long run, help bring costs under control. So cutting costs, saving parents money, fighting climate change, and creating the jobs of tomorrow, these are the things the American people want, these are the things the American people need, and these are the things that Build Back Better will deliver on once we pass it through this chamber.
And finally, Schumer mentions passing the Build Back Better Act by Christmas. This week, as Schumer mentioned, Democrats plan to meet with the Senate parliamentarian to see which provisions in the bill can remain, and of course, which measures will then need to be removed. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin, a key player in these negotiations, is one senator Republicans hope can kill this bill. Yesterday, during an interview, he would not commit to passing the bill by Christmas, nor did he give any specific time frame. Instead, he simply said that we will have to wait and see what we have. So not a whole lot from Manchin, which isn't unusual given how he usually operates. Other than passing the Build Back Better Act, some progressive Democrats also continue to push Biden to offer even more stimulus, in a way at least, without first being passed through Congress. The leader of the House Progressive Caucus, Pramila Jayapal, said, "As we continue recovering from this pandemic, people need help. Passing the Build Back Better Act is a major step, but there's still more to do. It's time to cancel at least $50,000 of student debt per borrower and get people the relief they need." Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has been another advocate of canceling student loan debt through executive order, as he's urged Biden on multiple occasions to do so with the flick of a pen. In other words, Schumer is telling President Biden to cancel student loan debt through an executive order. When running for president, Joe Biden actually campaigned on canceling up to $10,000 worth of student debt, and although he has canceled some student loans, none of them have been at the federal level. And if Biden attempted to do so, many would question his legal authority. If they tried canceling student loan debt through Congress, they would most likely run into issues, being that they would gain little, if any at all, support from Republicans, and moderate Democrats more than likely wouldn't get on board either. So, although there's no cancellation of any student loan debt in the Build Back Better Act, this looks like it will remain an issue over the next several months. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, if you would like to receive a couple free stocks from Webull, make sure to quickly claim them by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. To receive the first free stock, you will need to fully open an account. Then, to receive the second free stock, which will be valued up to $2,000, you'll need to make a qualifying deposit of at least $5. And even if you aren't all that interested in investing or continuing to invest at this point in time, you can always sell the free stocks you receive and transfer that money, however much they're worth, right back to your bank account. So free stocks or free money is completely up to you. So once again, I hope everyone has a great and safe rest of their day. If you did enjoy the content in today's video, I would greatly appreciate if you would give this video a like, a big thumbs up. That just lets me know that you did enjoy this video. And until next time, as always, I'll see you in the next video.